like the wind, Smokin' Joe. You're halfway there and don't have far to go, but run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. The calling of the trail has brought you here again. You've answered the call of your heart. You're leading the pack with hopes of victory. You're a winner and we've known it from the start. You won the silver, now go for the gold. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. You're halfway there and don't have far to go. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. All of us are watching and believing in you. After all, you're the father of the race. This time all your dreams can come true. Show 'em, Joe, this time and take first place. You won the silver, now go for the gold. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. You're halfway there and don't have far to go. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. You won the silver, now go for the gold. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. You're halfway there and don't have far to go. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe. Better run like the wind, Smokin' Joe.
There's pirates in paradise drinking down the rum. Pirates in paradise doing what's to be done. Pirates in paradise setting all the sail. And there's pirates in paradise telling all the tales. I was in a small cantina in south of Mexico. I was feeling like a traveler, I was feeling a little low. And I spied me two sailors, I singing a sailing song. And I says there, hey fellers, won't you tell me a tale of a whale? They said the first days was fair weather, boys. And all the boys were singing a sailing song. And then the wind began to blow through the wire, boys. We were riding in the eye of a storm. Oh, set the sails around me, boys. Set the sails afly. Set the sails around me, boys. We're taking a bay round the horn. We're taking a bay round the horn. With their eyes were filled with such desire now. For the sea is their lady and their home. And many a sailor has a tale to tell you now. And many a sailor sitting at the bottom of the sea. Oh, set the sails around you, boys. Set the sails afly. Set the sails around me, boys. We're taking a bay round the horn. We're taking a bay round the horn. Sails around me, boys. Set the sails afly. Set the sails around me, boys. We're taking a bay round the horn. taking a bay round the horn. I was standing on the beach in Mazatlan Bay, and a tear was rolling down my face. They set the sails for the open ocean now, and I wish like hell that I was sailing too. Oh, set the sails around me, boys, set the sails afire. Set the sails around me, boys, we're taking a bay round the horn. We're taking a bay round the horn. And there's pirates in paradise drinking down the rum. Pirates in paradise doing what's to be done. Pirates in paradise setting all the sail. And there's pirates in paradise telling all the tales. Yes, telling all the tales. Yes, telling all the tales.
It's when I know that it's you, and I reach out to your hand. Ooh, it's when you tell me how you feel. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you why. It's so real. Is it real for you and me? And when you're near, and when I'm near, I can feel the love you give to me. Ooh, I know you want to give it all. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you why. It's so real. Is it real for you and me? And down, 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 deep inside of me, your love makes me feel so good. And now, 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 tell me, do you feel the same? The love I feel for you. I'm asking you, is it real? Is it real? It's what I need to know. Please tell me now, baby, how you feel. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you why.
The Mendenhall Glacier is near the southern end of the Juneau ice field. The northern end of the ice field is up at Skagway, near the start of that road relay. And although there are 38 different glaciers coming out of Southeast's largest ice field, this is the one most people see. Because of its easy access from Juneau, each year thousands of people come to look at the Mendenhall and learn a little bit about the natural forces at work near a glacier. Few who see a glacier calve into salt water cannot help but be moved by the beauty of this brief, violent display of nature's power. The more normal, slower movement of glaciers is accompanied by the grunts and groans of shifting ice, and even if less dramatic, it offers viewers equally stunning scenes. But there is a quieter aspect to glaciers for those willing to make a more detailed inspection. The succession of one plant form after another growing on land once covered by ice.
We have just experienced what we call a little ice age here in southeast Alaska. It was as glacial advances go, it was relatively minor, but as far as the plants around here are concerned, it was a major event.
That major event for plants began 1,000 to 2,000 years ago when the Mendenhall Glacier made its most recent advance. The glacier reached its furthest point in the early 1700s.
We're now immediately down valley from the maximum extent of the glacier during the Little Ice Age. So if we were to have been here in 1765, where these spruce trees are right now, it would have been a big wall of ice, but it wouldn't have reached to where we're standing. This is where it came to an end. We're looking along the outer face of the terminal moraine now. There's probably about 20 feet of relief here.
How far are we from today's face of the glacier?
About 3 miles.
In those 3 miles, from this point of the Mendenhall's maximum advance near the Back Loop Road to the present face of the glacier is a living display of the changes of plant succession. It all begins at the barren ground in front of the glacier.
In front of the falls there, the Nugget Creek Falls, there's a large pile of completely barren glacial till, which is ice cored. It actually still has a large body of ice under it. And there's just about nothing growing on that. On a bare bedrock surface like this, one of the first things that becomes established is this lichen, Placopsis, which is a little semi-encrusting lichen that can grow right on a bare rock surface, and that's a real important early colonizer. And then these mosses and fireweed and a few grasses and sedges.
And how long is it going to take those first grains of life to grow after the retreat of the glacier?
Just a couple years. Within about 25 years in this area, and it's different from site to site, alder and willows will move in and begin to close canopy over these low-growing early successional plants and eventually shade them out. Alder is a pretty consistent colonizer in the Mendenhall Valley. It doesn't occupy outwash surfaces, and it comes in only slowly on these bare bedrock surfaces, but most of what we have for plant colonization in the Mendenhall is glacial till, and alder is very successful at moving in there. Now, alder is a nitrogen fixer, and the leaf litter from alder rapidly builds up the soil nutrients and allows other plants eventually to move in. But eventually, the spruce and cottonwood will overtop the alder canopy. The alders may be 15 or 20 feet high, and after about 50 years, and I think we can look at an example of this, you'll have cottonwood trees and spruce trees starting to protrude above the alder canopy. And from then on, it's a gradual closing of the canopy of the spruce and cottonwood over the alder and shading the alder out. Okay. I'm sort of describing landmarks along the way. It's impossible to say here we are in the alder phase and here we are in the spruce phase and then the hemlock phase. Of course, it's a gradual change.
One of the plants that seems to be present in most stages of plant succession is a very common sight throughout Southeast.
Southeast Alaska could be thought of as the moss capital of the world. There's probably a greater diversity of moss species here than there is anywhere. largely because of the constant rainfall and the absence of a summer dry season. From about 100 years on, you have an even-aged spruce forest, and by even age I mean that they came in at roughly the same time. They're the same age, same diameter and height, and their canopies interlock. There hasn't been enough time for many of those spruce to die and fall and open up a canopy gap and create a diversity in the forest understory. And because the canopies interlock, very little light gets through, and the understory is fairly impoverished. There's only a few species of flowering plants that do well under an early spruce forest. On the terminal moraine in the Mendenhall Valley, we still have an even-aged forest. It's still spruce dominated. There are a few hemlocks there, but it's probably 95% spruce at least. And it's starting to take on some of the characteristics of what we call old-growth forest, which is an ancient, uneven-aged forest with trees of many different sizes, and it's structurally very diverse. The oldest post-glacial forest that we can study in the Mendenhall Valley is only a little over 2 centuries old, and it's just a youngster by old-growth standards. There is a hemlock component, but the hemlocks haven't really taken over yet the way they do in most old-growth forests in southeast Alaska.
As the years continue to pass, this process of plant succession will also continue.
I would say by 500 years that it will be mostly hemlock. The hemlock will gradually become the dominant species there. It will open up a lot. There'll be areas where there's a great deal more light reaching the understory. There'll be a lot more down material on the forest floor. There'll be a lot of large logs, and those logs will support, there'll be nurse logs or trees on which young hemlocks are becoming established.
The plant succession in the Mendenhall Valley is easily visible, in part because the glacial retreat has been so recent. But this process is one that has followed other major glacial advances and retreats in long-ago ice ages.
The glaciers that blanketed northern North America were continental glaciers, and the landforms that they left were in some ways different than what we have here. But there are a lot of features that we can study in the Mendenhall Valley that tell us a great deal about the course of succession over thousands of years in many parts of North America.
Pack my suitcase, I rack my brain. Bought a ticket on the late night plane. Took a taxi through the pouring rain. I'm coming home to you. Flew from Dallas out to San Jose. Got a lot of friends south of the bay. When they asked me if I'd like to stay, I said I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home, back to Juneau's where I'm going to. Can't love nobody on the telephone. I'm coming home to you. The Japanese turned out to be okay. Hit the PI and I almost stayed. Been down in Portland now for too many days. I'm coming home to you. Got fresh cut salmons on a barbecue. They got people jamming to the all-night blues. Life is good down in Texas too, but I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home, back to Juneau where I'm going to. Can't love nobody on the telephone. I'm coming home. out to God knows where. Came 10:30 and you weren't there. Called from a payphone but I didn't care. I'm coming home to you. I'm feeling better since I got your card, and I read it over and over when the road gets hard. Ain't nothing better than your own backyard. I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home back to Juneau's where I'm going to. Can't love nobody on the telephone. I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home. Made up my mind, that's what I'm gonna do. Can't love nobody on the telephone. I'm coming home to you. Pack my suitcase, I rack my brain. Bought a ticket on the late night plane. Took a taxi through the pouring rain.
Prince William Sound nestled down the last few frozen days. The rafts of birds broke apart, spring would have its way. Oyster catchers clattered in the noonday sun, shorebirds spun above the waves. The Exxon Valdez slipped onto Bly Reef, the sound simply slipped away. Blackened feathers, broken chain, wrap the sound in the shroud of a silent spring. Unnumbered remains in the common grave. Blackened feathers, broken chain. An oil-stained grief settled in the sun, greened its life away. Oil slows the wings of a merganser as it struggles to fly the bay. Loons and muirs awash in the tide, eagles on the dead of the day. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Coffee in a plastic cup, the life of a northern sea. The sound gives, man receives, Exxon takes away. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Wrap the sound in the shroud of a silent spring. Unnumbered remains in the common grave. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Oil that killed the Applegate rocks crawls toward Cachimac Bay. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Prince William Sound nestled down the last few frozen days. The rafts of birds broke apart, spring would have its way. Oyster catchers clattered in the noonday sun, shorebird spun above the waves. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Blackened feathers, broken chain. Blackened feathers, broken chain.
The Florida sunshine is famous around the world, and everybody knows about them California girls. October in New England, I'd be there if I could. The only thing that's beautiful is the southern Indiana wood. Montana's got the big sky, the speed limit there is great, and the Midwest folks are friendly, it's like one big happy state. Utah's got the mountains where skiing is the best, but I've been to Colorado and I wound up in a cast. But Southeast Alaska, all it does is rain. It sprinkles in the morning, at night more of the same. Gotta help you in the winter if you're stuck without a plow, and thinking in the summer you can see beyond the clouds. Still I've never seen a place that makes me feel so good. I confess I even like the sight of a girl in a Gore-Tex hood. You can't call me crazy, but I know this about the rain. It makes the place look nice sometimes, and it keeps lots of folks away. Well, I went down to Georgia, ate some peaches off a tree, and a girl from Alabama married my best friend Randy. Southern hospitality's pretty near as good as they say, but I got laid right off the plane when I went to Waimea Bay. In Southeast Alaska, all it does is rain. The forecast for the summer is just rain and rain and rain. Don't ask me for no sympathy, you got yourself into this mess. Your muddy boots, your smelly wool, and big old skanky vest. Still I never seen a place that makes me feel so good. I confess I even like the sight of a girl in a Gore-Tex hood. And you can't call me crazy, but I know this about the rain. The place looks great about once a month, and the rest of the time's okay. Now New York is a city that lots of people hate, but I've been back there many times that everyone's been great. Arizona's canyon is as big as I have seen, and Texas in the springtime is every cowboy's dream. But I spent a summer out in Sitka, in a cabin in the woods. Been to Ketchikan and Wrangell, they were just as good. Got the world's biggest halibut with the Barnack boys of Tennessee. The loop road back to Juneau, saw a black bear in a tree. Hooter met the Calico, it's all the same to me. And Petersburg's the one place that I'm always glad to be. So you can take your fancy cruise and take across 7 seas. 'Cause Angaiak is the only place that I've got left to see. 'Cause Southeast Alaska, man, I really love that rain. And I don't care if I ever see the sun come out again. I'll take precipitation, you get the other stuff. 'Cause when it comes to soggy shoes, I just can't get enough. There ain't a place I ever been that makes me feel so great. I always dig the weather that everybody hates. You can call me crazy, but I know this about the rain. I moved away from there one time, and I never will again. Yahoo!
Moonlight, tell me it's the moonlight. Tell me it's the June night. Makes me love you. Others sigh for parents in the tears my heart asunder whenever I'm near you. Ice just turns to sugar and spice when I've got Moonlight, the Yukon. Moonlight, the Yukon. Moonlight, the Yukon. And you.
Since becoming a territory, appointed and elected governors have led this state. But governors aren't the only people who have influenced the direction Alaska has taken or influenced the people who live here.
I'd like to thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for the invitation. As you know, the governor has a very, very busy schedule, and every now and then he has to send somebody in his stead, and in this case, I happen to be the lucky one. The last time I came here, I was representing, of course, the Tlingit and Haida, the sovereign Tlingit and Haida Indian tribes of Alaska. And this time I'm representing the sovereign state of Alaska, whatever limitations it may have.
To many longtime Southeasterners, the sound of this man's voice has become somewhat familiar. Most people today would recognize John Hope as the veteran Native leader. This is because John Hope has held an integral position with virtually every Southeast and statewide Native organization. However, John's claim to fame had very little or nothing to do with Native organizations. As a radio broadcaster, John Hope was the official voice behind the gold medal basketball games. He was also the first Native radio broadcaster. During the 50s and 60s, John worked as a disc jockey between Sitka, Ketchikan, and Juneau.
We worked at the rock dump at the time. It was during the Elvis Presley heyday. Pat Boone and rock and roll was just getting off and running. Bill Haley and the Comets. I was a request man. I enjoyed playing request.
During John's career as a broadcaster, he worked with the likes of Vern Mitkiff, Teri Pegues, and Steve Agzaba. But John's big break into broadcasting probably wasn't as conventional as his colleagues.
My brother Percy was in the hospital at the time, and I would take the recorder to the game, and I'd give a description. First of all, I started with just the band music. I would record the pep band music, and then I thought maybe he'd be interested in hearing a little more, so I'd tell him the score by the quarter. Then I discovered it was not too difficult to do a play-by-play, so I would record just a part of the quarter leading up to what that quarter score was, and then up to the halftime. Then I found it was very, very easy to do a whole play-by-play, so I would record the whole game. It was on a wire recorder. Take it over to the hospital the next day on a Sunday, play it for him, and that attracted a few other patients in the hospital. And then they began to look forward to my doing that. I felt obligated to do it. Then I would record every game. Then I felt obligated to go all of the games, record all of the games, take them to the hospital and play it. And then the staff heard about it, and they said, let's put it on the public address system so all of the patients can hear it. And then the burden of responsibility got greater. And of course, I enjoyed it. About that time, they were building a radio station, 2 radio stations in Sitka. One of the stations, KALA, the board of directors heard about these things. They said, we'd like to have an audition tape, well, it was a wire recording, and have the board listen to it. And as a result of it, they decided to put me on an exclusive contract to broadcast basketball for them.
John had been involved with the Alaska Native Brotherhood in Sitka since 1945, but it wasn't until 1963 when he made a career change over to working for his people. John was hired by the Bureau of Indian Affairs to assist Native students obtain vocational training.
The area director resigned, Mr. Clay Antiochia resigned, and I was selected to fill that position on an interim basis. So I was the area director for the BIA for about 9 months, I guess. Then about that same time, the opportunity arose to run for the president of the Central Council, Tamaani Indian Tribes of Alaska. I ran for that office, and I succeeded in winning that position. And so I left the Bureau and took over the presidency of the Tamaani for 4 years, worked there for 4 years, enjoyed that very much. It was something I always wanted to do. My dad had been president of Tamaani for about 25 years, and in his day it was an annual election. He had to be elected on an annual basis. He was able to succeed himself for 25 years. Now the election is every 2 years. I succeeded myself only once, and then of course Mr. Ed Thomas came along, and he defeated me the last time around.
Through John Hope's career as a radio broadcaster and Native leader, he had to face several challenges. However, the largest challenge came early in John's life. While in his early teens, John was stricken with tuberculosis. He was to spend the next 6 years and 4 months in a Washington hospital. All but 3 months of this stay was spent in bed. The hospital lacked the resources for John to continue his education. After being released from the hospital, John was 21 years old and basically a grade school dropout. Obviously, this fact wasn't very apparent when he passed his entrance exam into radio school without a high school diploma. According to John, much of his success can be credited to his grandmother. She spoke only Tlingit and passed her values on to him.
And she instilled in me the importance of being a Kikseti, how my conduct should reflect well on the Kikseti people, that I should excel in what I'm doing, because I not only represented myself, but I represented the clan. So she made it pretty plain to me that I had to conduct myself in a worthy manner, because it reflected somewhat on her if I got into mischief. Of course, that didn't wipe out mischief entirely, but it controlled to some degree. And that may have helped me somewhat in not having an inferiority complex.
Today, John Hope is the Director of Community Development for the Department of Community and Regional Affairs. His new position with the state has somewhat taken him from his tribal affairs. However, John will continue to contribute whenever and wherever he can.
It's very, very, very many fond memories I have, and of course you all know that my dad came from the Killis New Country, and he's Kakwantan, I'm Kakwantan Yeti. I don't think that's the kind of speech that the state was expecting, but I thought I'd mention it in passing. Again, on behalf of the state of Alaska, I thank you very, very much.